Alright, thank you for tuning in the video today. I'm in the back of my shop today because that's where I've got all my stuff for my new Super Duty that's coming in. But if you haven't done it, please hit that like and subscribe. We're going to talk to you a little bit about the 23 Super Duties and the process of ordering one and kind of what your expectation is to get it, right? So, I want to give a shout out to Mac Hike Ford of Victoria, Texas. I talked to them way before the order banks opened. I knew what I was going to get. The order guide got released the day before the orders. I went through the order guide, pretty much looked how I wanted my build. I typed it up, sent it to them, and my order was placed within 3 minutes of the order bank's opening. So shout out to Mac Hike of Victoria, Texas for getting that done. I really appreciate that. And so what we're going to talk about is right before they opened the order banks, they released an order guide. And the order guide showed that some packages that went away, like the King Ranch Ultimate package was gone. And that basically before consisted of the power running boards, it consisted of the massaging seats, all of some of the better things were in that package, right? Well, now a lot of that stuff is base on King Ranch. You can't get that package anymore. The other thing was monochromatic, which is a solid color truck, right? Well, they don't have a monochromatic package anymore, but if you order the chrome package, if you read into the order guide, it creates a monotone truck. Okay, and you get a lot of information and a lot of this stuff from the order guide. You also get it if you're not part of the 2023 Super Duty. It's a Facebook group. Go ahead and jump in there. There's a lot of people on there. There's a lot of good information, and you can kind of see what's going on. So the topic of the video today was, some of them are already getting issued VINs and getting scheduled build dates. So what I'm going to talk about is job one. Basically, was when Ford opened the order banks, they said, okay, if you order, they're going to start building December, January, Lariats, and down. Okay? If you were ordering a King Ranch, a Limited, or a Platinum, it was going to get pushed out until March. It wasn't going to get built till March. Okay? So when you go in there, there are some things like I wanted the 355 gear ratio. Everything else I kind of got on my truck. And job one trucks, they're saying basically the scales, the 360 trailer camera. There's a couple things that, on job one weren't going to be available till job two. Okay, now if you got a trimmer, you get the 355 gears. But, I ordered the FX4, so I wanted the 355. But for me, here's the deal. With my dealer, I order a lot of new trucks when they come out for new release. I generally try to be one of the first orders in. And, it was basically they were saying if you're going to order a King Ranch, you're going to order Platinum or Limited, you need to priority code it 99 with your dealer, which basically says, hey, don't schedule this truck for production. We're gonna take a slot and build it and get that allocation. That way you go ahead and have a place in line, but that means they're not gonna build it until job two, right? And so some of the features that you couldn't get in job one, which were, the 360 trailer tow, cameras, the onboard scale, some of those things, right? So you kind of roll the dice, and what I did was I did a priority 10. If they're going to pick my truck up and build it, I'd like to have the 355 gears, but otherwise how it's built on this sheet is exactly how I take it. I mean, for me, it's not really worth coding it a priority 99 and then changing it later. I'd rather, if they're going to go ahead and pick it up and get it in the build cycle, I'll take it with the 333s or 331s, whatever they're called, 331s. So I coded mine as a priority 10. Well, as of today, on the forums, and if you haven't joined the 2023 Facebook group, get in there, join it, you get lots of info. There's a couple King Ranches that are already scheduled with build dates, and it seems like they're scheduling these dates for, I think January 2nd is the first production dates I've seen that they're scheduling. There's a bunch of STXs, there's a bunch of XLs, XLTs, which they said they were going to do, but you wouldn't have thought they were going to run King Ranches or Platinum and Limiteds until job two. Well, they're in there. And so if you put a 99 priority code on your order, it's not going to get scheduled. If you put a 10, it's going to get scheduled, but you're going to take the risk of, hey, I may not get that. Do I think I'll get everything that's on my sheet, on my build? Yes. But the scales and the 360 camera, some of the new technology that they're going to add in, that stuff I really don't need. It's not something I'm going to hold the truck up for. So I chose priority 10. So I'm going to go over my order real quick, and I'll post this on the video for y'all to take a look at. And once you get your order placed, usually within a day or two, this is what you should get right here. You'll get this from Ford. It says, Rocky, we've got your order. If you don't get this from Ford, your dealer didn't put your order in, okay? And another thing you need to check on with your dealers is make sure they have an allocation, because you know, let's say they're allocated 30 trucks and your order number 60, right? So the dealer you're going to, make sure they got an allocation, make sure you're putting your order in, make sure you get this confirmation sheet from Ford, because if you didn't, they're just sitting on it. They're going to enter it in whenever they want, right? So you don't have that sheet, stay on them. So basically on mine, I'm ordering a F350 single rear wheel, black, which is the color I always order. King Ranch trim, B&O sound system, reverse sensing. Now they have a high output Power Stroke. I think it has stainless manifolds and a water cooled cartridge. You know, it's supposed to be 500 horse and I think almost 1200 torque. The 600 Power Stroke before was pretty powerful. You know, I can't imagine what this one's going to be, but I went ahead and opted for the high output. I'm not sure on this, there's some gray area, but I think the F350s with the high output got a little bit larger axle. And I've heard that from a few different places. Can't verify it. We're going to put it out there. You can research it, find out, drop in the comments if you get fact checked. If you fact check it, that's great. Of course, it's going to come with the 331 locking axle, and then on my sheet it says job 1 order, but everybody that put one in says job 1. So even if you ordered a limited, it says job 1. Basically, I've got the chrome package, which came with the PVD aluminum wheels. Now, I was going to order platinum, but the new platinum wheels and the new limited wheels, they just didn't do it for me. I really like the limited and I like the platinum, but I like a chrome wheel, and that's just me. I'm a chrome person, so I went with the King Ranch so I could get those chrome PVDs. I ordered the FX4 off-road package. It comes with the power running boards and the skid plates. One of the things you'll notice on these newer trucks is they have a higher GVWR. This truck has a 12,000 GVWR package on it. So we should get a little bit more payload out of them. I've got the vehicle console safe and the rapid heat supplemental heater. Basically, that's a 12-volt heat grid. You fire the truck up, you turn the heat on, you got instant heat. It's not waiting on the engine to warm up. So that's something you want. Power moonroof, fifth wheel prep package. As you can see, I got a fifth wheel right there, so I'm gonna need that. Roof clearance lights. And then I opt for the wheel well liners in the front and the back. And then I got the trailer TPMS. It won't let you, maybe job 2, that's another thing. It won't let me select the trailer TPMS and the trailer camera. Now I'm not talking about the 360 camera, but just the trailer camera for the back, right? And I think you can buy that over the counter. So for me, I want the trailer TPMS and I want that programmed. I have it on all my other trucks. It's amazing. I've got TPMS sensors in the wheels. I don't want to tow without those anymore. Got the bed liner, and then for the max recline seats, basically where the seats lay all the way back. That's another feature you can purchase. Just wheel locks, and that's really it. I mean, there's not a lot to it. You can go to the website, you can pretty much build one out. You know, like I said, job 1, if this is what I get, I'm happy with that. Now, suspension wise, what I like is I like the 37s on the stock wheels, and that's how I like building them. And so if you notice right here, I've got the 37 1350 20 mud grapplers. I've ran the Nitto Ridge grapplers, I run the Toyo MTs, I've got them on a bunch of my vehicles. They run great. The one thing I'll say about these is these are some of the smoothest rolling, no vibration, and soft tire with the tow rating. I mean, these are 3750 tow rating each. They're noisy. They make noise. Noise doesn't bother me. I'd rather have a good riding and a good rolling tire. You know, the other tires do that too. It's just my preference is it feels like these are a softer tire to me. It's a little bit softer compound. They're not going to last as long as the other ones either, so you're not going to get a ton of mileage out of them, but I prefer to have a better ride. So that's me, and I like the aggressive look of those tires. Now, on the kit on the Ford, I usually stay pretty simple. I've got the 2.5-inch ready lift springs. Now, know if you're on a 19 or below, it's a different lift. You know, 2.5 lifts actually gave those 2.5, but they were an inch taller already. So now when you run into the 20s, they're lower because these new fifth wheels are so tall, they brought the trucks down. And so if you put a leveling kit on a 20 and up that says it's 2.5, if it doesn't physically say, if you look in the fine print, 3.5 is usually what you'll get on those. These are redesigned 2.5 ready lift springs. It's an actual 2.5 on a 20 and up truck. So you just need to pay attention to that if you're looking. Comes with the track bar relocation bracket. It's a real simple deal. It's 2 springs. You're already getting the FX4 package. I'm not going Baja. I'm on the highway. I mean, yeah, I'm going to use my full drive if I need it, the boat ramp here and there, but so I go with shock extensions. You're already paying for the FX4 package. You're already getting upgraded shocks. So I'll throw the shock extensions on there. You've got bump stops that come with that kit. You've got 2 sway bar drop brackets. Depending on the tires and when they rub, a lot of times I won't use these sway bar drop brackets. I'll just get sway bar link extensions. Because if you think about it, you're taking that tire lower, and if you bring that sway bar down, it's going to rub on that side tread. So a lot of times it's better to leave it in a stock position and put longer links on it. So what you see right here is the Carli radius arms. All right. Now, I like at least 4.5 degrees of caster at a minimum. You know, 4.5 to 5 is where I like my trucks. And so, you know, if you weren't going to use these radius arms, this comes with the Ready Lift kit. You pop your upper ball joint out, and this is called a caster shim right here. So you can actually adjust the caster at your ball joint on each side. But for me, 2 reasons I run these radius arms. One, they're stouter. It's not like I'm running the Baja, but the thing I really like about them is if you look right here, that indentation, that's where that 37 is going to rub. It gives you almost a 1/2 to 3/4 inch difference right there that it's not going to rub. So you get a little more turning radius when you put a wide tire on your stock wheel. So that's why you get a lot of rub on these. Just kind of want to show you all the sidewall tread on these Nitto mud grapplers. Again, 37 1350s. Like that part, I like that you get the stock caster out of this too. So I'm going to probably be at 4.5 to 5. And then how you adjust the caster in these arms is, well, I don't think I have the shims out here, but there's a different shim that pops in here on this bottom bolt. I think there's 4 different settings. So it's very adjustable, gives you the extra turning radius. And these mud grapplers, if you look, there's a lot of, I'll move the camera over in a second. There's a lot of sidewall tread, so they do rub. So the more turning radius you can get, the better. So really that's about it. Just basically want to go over the build, tires, lift, what all I've got for it. From my understanding, the front is pretty much the same. There may be some changes on the rear axle. We'll see whenever we get it. But overall, that's really it. I'd like to thank you for watching the video. Please hit that like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.